Hi, and welcome to Blank Bodies. Hi, and welcome to Blank Bodies, a Vampire the Masquerade V5 podcast. And tabletop, and horror, some other stuff maybe, who knows. I'm Hunter, and I'm joined as always by...
John.
Sarah.
And the Lorebot.
James.
Nailed it.
It's taken us like a year, but we finally got it.
Yeah,
We have gained efficiency, my friends.
Yeah.
Good. They can be programmed.
we are ever crawling towards our first year as a podcast, and that's terrifying. But
Why did they let us do this?
thank you for letting us do this.
Thank you.
Nothing's stopping us yet.
I mean, you're here.
I'm just monitoring.
That's what they say. Inquisition. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Not gonna break
Man.
copyright.
Not gonna lie, guys. Wait, what copyright?
Monty Python.
No.
That's not copyrighted.
That wasn't Monty Python. That was Mel Brooks. Monty Python is... They never expect the Spanish Inquisition. That was that one, yeah.
Man.
How shitty is the Spanish Inquisition in this book?
They don't come up in the modern Second Inquisition. Not really.
There is no Spanish Inquisition.
Well, I mean, there is, but, like, that's a whole different org. Yeah. There's so many fucking org charts.
I'm so sad right now because
Why?
I had a no one expects the Inquisition joke in my head, ready to go.
I just didn't.
And I didn't shoot it off fast enough, guys.
No, I just got History of the World Part 1 stuck in my head. That movie fucking slaps.
I love that movie.
Today's episode was a surprise to me. I didn't know we were doing this.
Yeah.
Because no one expects the Inquisition.
Right.
Oh, the vampires expect the Inquisition after Shreknet.
Well, yeah. So, Second Inquisition, the new source book for V5 has dropped and been shipped to most everybody. I think that's ordered it.
I think so, because I feel like I was one of the last people to get it, so...
Yeah, I know there's some international shipping issues because of these trying times.
Some of our Canadian friends posted they got it, so
Oh,
it's at least
good.
out there.
So some people did.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't
'Cause,
expect that to carry through the ground.
That's okay. Because, the only countries that exist in the world are the U.S. and Canada.
Only ones that matter.
Not true.
I've been told Canadians feel like they get their international stuff last, though, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how that level... All the international shipping stuff I do is between, like, us and Europe, so between Canada, I'm like, I have no fucking idea.
I mean, isn't most of Canada just like Feyland anyway? It takes time to, do all the rituals and shit for the Goblin Roads.
Yeah. Yeah, first
You gotta get past those Wendigo.
Right.
Yeah, and, you have to make sure that, your little hockey hooligans are controlled and... Something Litter Kenny joke.
Oh my gosh, I want to make a Brujah who is a hockey player, and he has a herd and or allies that are his hockey teammates.
That
Hell
sounds
yeah.
very fun.
Just depends on what you
run
want to
around.
do with them.
Yeah, but...
Beat the shit out of stuff. Come on.
Right?
Then that's
Well,
allies. Or retainers.
there's many ways to flavor that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got the book. We've read through it. I've tabbed the shit out of mine. I'm probably going to read through it again and do a
was
bunch more
sparkly
stuff.
tabs.
I did. It made me happy. Look, I like putting the gay tabs in the Oorah military book.
It's good.
Funny.
I do want to say, I read it too. I read some of the older books, but this main book right here is a lot like our Ghouls episode. Like, just getting the modern V5 stuff out could have been multiple episodes. So we're kind of sticking to modern times and the new Second Inquisition book here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're probably going to go off on a few random tangents, but we're not going to go like too deep into the paint.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be Blank Bodies if we didn't do tangents.
Yeah, that's...
I have made too many notes on that Project Twilight book that I've already got on my phone to not go off.
Yeah. If folks want us to go into further deep dives into the Second Inquisition and potential paramilitary conspiracies within the world of darkness, we could do that. Just let us know that's what you want.
Yes.
Currently, we're focusing on mostly the Second Inquisition, the new book, the new spicy book.
Spicy.
It's very spicy. And some notes that tie into previous V5 canon books, including Core Book, Chicago by Night, Camarilla Book, and Fall of London.
Fall of London.
Yeah.
I have a question.
So,
So for our listeners, how spoilery are we going to get in this episode?
not particularly.
Okay, because I will say reading this, this definitely felt like a must-have book if you're going to be an ST for V5. But your value as a player may not go as far.
Yeah, it might not be as much on player options, other than what it sounds like Sarah's gone into, where equipment.
Oh, the equipment list is fucking spicy. So, if you want more high-tech or heavy artillery shit for your game,
Check on the max.
yes, it's a good reference point to get an idea gauging on, like, the ratings for certain equipment. And if you want to get into, like, occult relics and artifacts, there's some references in there that are canonical, and you can use those for references for building shit for your game. This is built mostly as a storyteller book, which is why all the reference material's in the front of the fucking book.
We cannot let Bennett get a hold of this book.
No, give it to Bennett.
But I can't. He is not responsible enough to handle that artillery.
I was going to say, as an extension of that, this is definitely a book you should ask your ST before you dive into it. If you're in a game and they might be using it, I would like. There's a lot of stuff in this book I would want to use like as kind of a surprise to my players. So we're not going to go deep into any of that, I don't think. But there is some spice in here that you might not want to just like, oh,
Yeah.
that's what my ST's been doing for the last 3 months.
Yeah, if you're cool with, like, not interjecting meta plot knowledge things into game, then, like, fine, whatever. It's your game, you're adults, you can figure it out. If you want a surprise, leave it for your ST, or buy it for them. Be like, here you go, hurt me with this.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah, buy this for your ST so they can hurt you with things.
Probably have that consent talk beforehand, because if you tell your ST hurt me, that might give them the wrong signals. Just saying.
Or the right ones. I don't know. I don't know how your game dynamics are.
Exactly.
Ew. There's a quote. So who wants to read it?
Oh, yeah, I'm taking this. What? Your humanity is your greatest weakness because it forces you to care about something that can defeat you. Reveal the details of your human life at your own peril. Truth is your enemy.
Yes. So, we're going to cover a quick, rough timeline of events in relation to the Second Inquisition. This is a rough timeline that I've put together based off of dates given canonically in the books. You can change things as you will. And if you want to use any of these little date points as a plot point for your game, fucking do it! Because literally, there's so much to unpack with each of these like little reference points that like these could be peeled off each into their own individual episode. I don't got that kind of time right now. So... Yes.
I'll also point out this is just the V5 timeline. I had originally read the original Inquisition book just to prep for this, then realized that the first 30 pages of that book are nothing but history.
Yeah.
So, we're keeping this just to the new book.
Yeah, literally, me and Hunter could co-op a second pre-episode, and also, as we've stated in other episodes, these dates are what's in the books. It's your game. Fluctuate, do whatever, because I am also going to be talking about just light bullet points of the older stuff, which means you don't have to care about the direct dates. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just, it's your game. Have fun.
Yeah. So we're starting out with everybody's favorite topic, 9/11.
Woohoo! When was that?
I don't know, but Bush did it.
Oh God, yeah. So that
Poor Mike Myers.
major crisis event.
Hey, knock knock. Knock knock.
Who's there?
9/11.
9/11 who?
You said you'd never forget.
Ah, damn. We're millennials. So yeah, a 9/11 happened.
That's a bummer.
And yeah, it was a huge bummer. No one was really pleased about that except like a small cadre of people, which I'm like, I understand why you're pissed. That maybe not was the best reaction, but like, I get it. Yeah, the Camarilla as an organization looked at this and went, I could use this. Because after 9/11, there was the whole War on Terror movement that started and the invasion of Iraq and Afghanistan and the Patriot Act and...
They opened up a Pandora's box.
Yeah, so various leaders within the Camarilla were just like, hey, what if I use these government agencies to smite my enemies?
Smite them?
Yeah, so it was like an extreme...
There's no way that could go wrong.
No, not at all.
Not possible.
Yeah, shockingly, weaponizing a paranoid and highly funded military branches of the United States government ended poorly.
Yeah. It's weird how that worked.
They literally opened up Pandora's box. They're like, we can smite our enemies with that. I'm like, but you could also be smited with that, dipshit.
Yeah, so over the process of these, certain mortals kind of were putting pieces together going, hey, what the fuck? There's these undead monster things. This is fucked up, and started expanding operations outside of doing tactical strikes against people in the Anarch and spot movements. And eventually they discovered a ShrekNet in 2004 and raided it. And then ShrekNet got taken down.
Huh.
Yeah, it's totally not back up.
No, not at all. Not that we're aware of. That's a Nosferatu episode.
Yeah. That could be its whole own episode, too.
The invasion and fall of ShrekNet could be its own fucking episode.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that right now. Moving on.
No.
After the desolation of ShrekNet, we have the beginnings of Project First Light.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, which is a joint NSA-CIA program. It will continue on. Starting around 2006, SO13 starts purging kindred in London. Yes.
What is SO13?
That is a branch of British intelligence that is specifically designated for destroying kindred.
Okay, so the British just get in on it.
Oh, yeah. Because we'll get into this a little bit more, but I'm going to go through this timeline just so you can understand how much of like a disjointed, bureaucratic like clusterfuck all of this becomes. So, in 2008, the Prime Chantry in Vienna gets raided and destroyed by a combination of SOCOM agents as well as ESOG and Bose agents using drones and holy relics to invade.
Holy relics.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole combination of ancient belief systems and magic as well as high technology
Interesting.
to take down the wizards. And
Well,
they do.
Yeah, fuck them.
I got notes on that.
Yeah, we've got.
Yeah.
That's the one thing from the Second Inquisition that I can say, like, it's probably for the best.
You say that.
Yeah,
it's a
kinda-
problem because when the Second Inquisition raids the Prime Chantry, they also plundered it.
Yeah, that is a problem.
So, yeah, it's a bit of a problem.
I wonder who would have problems with other wizards. I wonder.
Yeah. In 2008...
That's a tool we'll use for later.
Yes. In 2008, GRU N58 agents start increasing renditions in Russia. City clearing operations
Hold
run
on.
by... Yes.
Renditions of what? Like Shakespeare's
Renditions...
play at the park?
A rendition is basically like blackbagging somebody. And, because...
I like my definition a lot more.
yeah, it's nicer. Oh, God. I'm trying to remember which organization it was. I don't remember if it was GRU or if it was SO13, but there was a note in the book that one of these organizations boasts a rendition failure rate of 8%.
Huh.
So that means out of, if they rendition 100 sentient beings, 92 of them are kindred.
Damn.
8 are mortals. Fuck them. if you got black bag by mistake, oops. Oh,
I mean,
well.
that's not all that surprising, to be fair.
No.
Yeah, they're like, acceptable losses.
I was about to say, honestly, that's like surprisingly good. I figured it'd be like, sorry, we killed 15 people, but there's...
Well, that's the thing. They're bragging about an 8% failure rate. And I'm just like, oh, God.
Yeah.
The implication for all these other organizations we brought up.
Yeah.
Which is, theirs is much worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best numbers.
Yup.
And they're not just executing these people either.
Sometimes
they're
they
like,
are.
okay.
Sometimes it's executions.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah.
There.
Sometimes
That's
it's-
the best option.
We're going to call it enhanced interrogation.
Right.
Sometimes getting surrogated in the middle of the street is the best option.
Well,
Yeah.
it's efficient.
Continuing on in the timeline. City clearing operations run by police and UTR, which is known as Unusual Threat Response Troops, in Detroit, are betrayed by a blank body recruit in 2012.
Uh-oh.
I think my ex had a couple of those ones.
A blank body recruit?
Are you talking about a UTI?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Piss after sex, people.
Yeah. There are mentions of the Chicago by Night book about the Second Inquisition basically laying waste to the kindred populations in Detroit, which Detroit used to be a Sabbat stronghold in the canon, and it is not any longer. It's a fun threat to use as a storyteller for people fucking around in Chicago, though. Just being like, hey, on the other side of the lake is a city full of feds. Please keep fucking around. But yeah, that group apparently was betrayed, and a lot of their operations kind of went to shit. There's a lot of really cool details about that sprinkled throughout the Second Inquisition book, so you kind of have to like piece it all together to be like, oh.
Cool.
So that's kind of fun. The final death of Queen Anne of London happens in November 2013. So that was the former Prince of London. Just gone.
Damn.
Yeah. So London's gone. You can play that in Fall of London if you want and see how it goes for your players.
Nice.
Unit 8211 tracks elders following the beckoning. They are following the leads back from these people that they capture and are able to trace them back to havens all across the world.
Problems.
Yeah, the DGSE, Direction Générale de la Sécurité Extérieure, drives the Prince Francois Villon of Paris into hiding and also starts clearing kindred out of Marseille, which is the city that Karna used to be the prince of. So things are fucking around in France.
Every time this Marseille.
Yeah.
Marseille.
Marseille.
Right? Marseille. You guys ever been to Friendship, Indiana?
No.
What about Versailles?
Every time. Every time that and Du Bois also hurts my brain. Also, every time I hear Edinburgh,
It's so
Lebanon,
It's so good.
living in the Midwest.
I love that you go there and you say, "Oh, I like your little town. Versailles is really cute," and they get upset.
They are mad.
They're like, "It's Versailles." Oh, all right, man, it's Versailles. It's spelled Versailles, like France.
Yeah.
French over
Change
there.
it. I think the people who settled here were French. It's Versailles. You're mad.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Die
Terre
wrong.
Haute.
I love it. I think it's hilarious.
It's so funny.
Versailles.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway,
Yeah, moving on. For fun notes, U.S. SOCOM operations exist in 177 countries. And there's an unknown amount of first light cleared agents within SOCOM. So this is a big international network of who knows how many people are involved in these kindred clearing agencies and practices.
damn.
Holy shit! Giant governments, organizations with barely any oversight. Who knew?
And secret, budgets
And no one
That-
talking.
that nobody is taking into account or any of that. Yeah, that's...
Weird.
I have no idea what
Where do
that's
these
like.
tax dollars go? Mystery pool. What? Why does this just say $2 billion ? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? Don't ask.
That's fine.
That's just the money they're telling us they're using.
Yup. I wish it was just Coke. I really do.
Humans.
First Light agents take control of Black Site 24 in Chicago in 2015.
That sounds awful.
It is.
I don't
It's
know
also
what
a
Black
lore
Site
sheet.
24 is.
It's a lore sheet in
Yeah.
Chicago by night. It does mirror a unfortunate real world situation where CPD, Chicago police officers, were caught having a black site of their own, and they were holding prisoners and keeping them outside of actual processing.
Oh,
You
so
can read these actual news articles. It's very uncomfy.
Yeah.
The coalition establishes the SMLCPASCE, or as it's better known, the Sub-Ministerial Level Consultation Program to address stochastic crises events in 2016.
I feel like saying the entire name and saying the acronym are just about as difficult.
Yeah, there's tactical reasons for this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Smilkpask.
Smilkpask.
Smell.
Smilkpask.
I think you should be.
That inspires fear in the hearts of your enemies.
I think it should
Milk
be
Pass is coming for you.
I think it should be completely legal if somebody says I'm part of Smilk Pass that you can just punch them in the face. Like they can't press charges. Just be like, no, you deserve that.
This is for the greater good.
Milk Pass. Ugh.
Yeah. The coalition establishes the MLCC-TSP, or the Multilateral Liaison Committee for Counter-Terror Scenario Planning, in 2017. And that is about as current as I was able to get on actual dates on the timeline.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So,
That all happened pretty quick.
yeah, it did. Yeah.
Like what? Just a little bit over 10 years? And
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot very quickly. And so what is the Second Inquisition?
I don't know.
It's
We
people
can't expect.
who kill sometimes people, but mostly vampires
At least that's
and
what they're
other
saying and
monstery
hoping.
people things.
I would say my quick description would be a coalition of world governments and the Catholic Church and other religious organizations coming together to hunt vampires.
Almost. It doesn't quite encapsulate everything, at least the way it's like parsed out in the book. I tried to come up with my own slightly more...
And my
Go ahead.
I was about to say, and my Pepe Sylvia is an organization that's being controlled by another organization.
Yeah, that's
we'll get into
all
later.
of these are not incorrect. They just kind of don't cover everything. So the term, or the definition I tried to come up with was a bureaucratic web of intelligence, military, police, and religious agencies, along with non-state actors that are aware of the masquerade and seek to counteract the control of these unnatural beings. Because it's not just like state governments, it's not just military, it's not just police, it's not just religious. There's also more layers to it, because you also get, military contractors, you get like little hunting orgs on their own, you get lone wolf people, conspiracy nuts.
Yeah, QAnon and flat earther types.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
There's basically a part that's just talking about like, oh yeah, sometimes Redditors try and figure out who's a vampire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just people on the internet that are just like, they're kind of akin to like people in the true crime community that are just like, oh, there's this unsolved mystery, I'm gonna figure it out.
Or I don't know if you remember when the Boston bombing happened and Reddit played detective for like 3 days till they caught the real guy. Almost got a rando killed over it.
Yeah. Reddit do that sometimes. They're like, we're helping. And I'm like, kinda. Overall, yes, but also, how many people did you destroy along the way?
Like the Russians said, acceptable losses.
Yeah. It is said in the core book, and I thought this was a funny note, that the term Second Inquisition was something coined by unknown Toreador. So, good job on the branding, guys. Good job. Nailed it. Basically, because this is a multi-tiered, org web of things, there's a lot of acronyms, so reading the book kind of hurts your brain. It kind of hurt my brain a lot, because I've been reading it and rereading it for the past 2 weeks, and I'm just like, oh god, for fuck's sake. But I've tried to parse it down into 3 major tiers to hopefully organize this in a way that'll make sense for everybody. So, the Second Inquisition is headed by what is called the 5 Torches. These are the 5 major governmental or institutional groups that are in charge of organizing and funding the Second Inquisition as we know it currently. So, this fun list goes down. I list the countries involved and then the major organizations that they are in charge of. Hopefully this will help clear things up. It probably won't. It's going to be an alphabet soup of just government nonsense.
I like alphabet soup.
Yep. Starting with the United States.
Oh,
Hey.
Yay.
USA. USA.
Sorry, I bumped my mic.
No, that's okay.
you're fine.
That's the right amount of
Hey,
energy.
real quick, before we jump into this
Yeah.
alphabet soup, I'm going to ask a question about alphabet soup in general.
Yeah, what's up?
Can any of you think of an acronym or an organization that has an acronym of 3 letters that's a good organization?
TST.
Okay, cool. I just needed to make sure there was one.
I know there's people that bitch about the Satanic Temple, but I'm like, overall, net positives.
CBS has some good shows sometimes.
Oh, okay.
PBS.
All right. Oh, PBS for sure.
PBS
okay.
usually is pretty good.
All right.
TCG.
Cool.
HRT.
I'm here for HRT, but like, no. Anywho. Yeah, so the United States, we tend to be the loudest and have the biggest budget and think we have the biggest swinging dick, so therefore we're one of the 5 torches. Our biggest contribution is First Light. First Light was initially a CIA NSA joint project. It has now become its own fucking thing. That's not spooky.
Those tend to happen with CIA projects.
Yeah. It's upsetting. There's also the IAO, or the Information Awareness Office, which is does paranormal, vampire, kindred, researchy stuff, but it involves a little bit more like tech stuff, and it's its own thing. There's also the FBI's SAD branch, which is the Special Affairs Division.
So what do those officers do? Those people do? They just like sit in rooms and cry?
Probably, but
No, they wiretap.
They're sad.
yes,
Sad is they sad listen to microphones.
yeah.
Again.
That would make me real sad if I had to listen to like normal everyday people's life and conversations all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you get normal conversation, incoherent screaming.
I think one thing to keep in mind is, I don't know if you ever saw the interviews, or I think there's a whole documentary about it, about the Facebook moderators who basically like went into like depressive spirals because of all the bullshit they had to see all day long.
God.
Now imagine doing that for the government.
Yeah.
We were just like boring conversation, dead body, child porn, dead body, horny posting, just the constant stream of everybody's bullshit. I'm just like, oh God. Too much. But yeah, the Special Affairs Division also is a subset of the FBI that focuses on paranormal stuff. So they do technically investigate things outside of vampires, but for V5, we don't have that info, so I didn't get into it.
We have some past info that we're going to tangent about later. Let us get through the official stuff, and then we'll come back to the sad stuff, because I've got notes on them.
Yeah, and also for in the arsenal of the United States, governmental uses, we also have SOCOM, ICE, DEA, and CDC as parts of operational...
Because, of course, we have ICE.
Oh, God. Yeah, there's
You
also...
just need to get a good decker for that.
Do you think that First Light is such a piece of shit that they send all of the brown vampires to ICE?
Well, here's the thing with ICE, and the book does note this, that ICE has jurisdiction within 100 miles of the border on both sides of the United States, which covers 75% of the United States population.
No.
And ICE has jurisdiction in ways that a lot of other officers don't. So it's kind of like fucking with the TSA.
Gotcha.
You think they're silly, please don't.
Again, watch Get Out. Don't fuck with TSA.
Yeah, so the next branch of the Torches is the United Kingdom.
Ba 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 ba.
Yeah. Britain has the JTRG, or the Joint Threat Response Group,
Oh.
which is their big investigating thing for the Kindred. Their big investigating thing that involves actually murdering Kindred is SO-13. They are considered to be some of the best in eliminating tactical threats.
Yeah, they only kill 8 people out of 100.
Yeah. Well, there's also, if you're going to have Second Inquisition agents that do, like, night raids or specialize in actually killing vampires, these are
the ones.
These are some of the ones where you're just like, oh, no. Like, they took out most of the Kindred in London.
Gotcha.
So it's like, oh, fuck. Okay.
Well,
these guys know what they're doing.
Quick question. Now, does that mean they're skilled, or is it just the fact that it's such a condensed country? There's not much place to go.
Both. Yeah. There's also the Arcanum.
The Arcanum.
Got notes on that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Arcanum's very like, did you read Hellsing? It's very like that.
Cool.
And the notes in this new book about them are... So...
Yeah. Yeah. And then we have our friends in Russia with GRU N58, or I'm going to try and say this. I'm sorry, everyone. Napravlenia 58, the 8th Direction of the 5th Directorate. So this is old Soviet organization that's continued on into current times, that specialized in dealing with vampire threats. And they also have Unit 242, and it's basically the Russian Orthodox counterpoint to the Vatican, which is the Akritai. So it's like Russian Orthodox religious stuff. We also have Brazil with BOWs, which is the Brazilian Special Police Operation Battalions. They tend to handle all of the kindred investigative forces in South America. They have a lot of backing from the Vatican.
Also, they're very bad people.
Yeah, basically everybody here is.
I know. I just want to
Everybody
bring
here is
that up
bad.
because I think there was like a big kerfuffle about like them not making a note about how terrible they
No,
were.
it wasn't. It was not these guys.
Which one was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's these guys, and there's also PMX, which is military police extraterritorial operations from Brazil. A lot of the way things that these are described, they kind of remind me of. The way that a lot of this was described in the text remind me a lot of paramilitary violence that has been happening for decades in South America, and I'm just like, oh no, fuck.
Rough.
So handle that tactfully, please, everybody. And then the last of the 5 torches is the Vatican.
Of course.
Of course. Well, there's the La Entaya, which is like the big paranormal investigating umbrella within the Vatican. And then there's the Society of St. Leopold and all of their subdivisions. as well as ESOG, which is the Entity Special Operations Group, and Gladius Day.
Nice.
Which is like, what if we gave church guys swords and guns and sent them into battle?
If you pegged them, they'd calm down.
Probably.
It's pretty much a modern Knights Templar. Like with the swords and everything.
Like full Father Anderson levels of
The difference
like,
is the
nonsense.
First Inquisition are not happy about that. If you look at the sheet for Second Inquisition lore, the one you got on your character, they're actually the First Inquisition is informing on the Second because they're like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that carried on traditions from the First Inquisition within the Vatican, so they have a lot of more specializations in the supernatural bent, and, you know, they have, you know, that truth faith and all that kind of stuff, and then they're like, yeah, but what if we gave him a fucking, you know, AK-47?
He'll fire true faith bullets.
That's called Guiding Bolt.
I was really into Hunter the Vigil and
Fuck
Hunter
yeah.
the Reckoning. So when we started this show, I started putting together a couple episodes on like the original Inquisition and some of these other groups. We'll go tangents at the end, but like a lot of the stuff they're referencing here could have its own episode, and it's got deep history to it. So
Yeah. So we're just trying to give you guys the brush of the alphabet soup, so if you see this going further in new books, and a lot of these are also back referenced in the older books. So, hurrah! We got through the soup. So the next level, boof, of the Inquisition is, it's technically called the Second Players, which are other government and official institutions that are working with or assisting or getting backup from the Five Torches. These two groups together make up what is called the Coalition. So, yeah. So we have the Coalition, which is everybody that's officially involved. The Coalition is broken up into the Five Torches, what we just talked about. And then there is the Second Players, and the book lists a handful of them. We have Egypt with Homeland Special Program. We have France with La Caldesion. I said that in Spanish. I'm sorry. Hi, guys. I'm so fucking brain dead. I basically had this week be a genocide sandwich for me, and I'm just like, ugh.
It's the worst sandwich.
Yes. And then Israel has Unit 8211. Japan has TID, which is Third Intelligence Department, which is definitely more Ghost in the Shell, sci-fi, techie kind of shit. So if you like that kind of stuff.
Of course.
Poland has Bureau 9, which
With
is
the
very
Roman
intense.
numerals, real good.
Yeah, well, their big thing is like, we don't like vampires and we don't like communists. It's very like, oh no. And then Sweden has GK or G Condorant, which is their version of stuff. It's a lot. It's all very interesting. A lot of the way the stuff is written out does tie into real world organizations and military groups, and if you're interested in those kind of histories and how those interplay with the real world, you go down that rabbit hole. I did. That's why I'm a little bit brain soup today.
So yeah, this is the episode where that when you get excited about ideas in these books and you start researching them, you will end up on a watch list. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. I knew I was on a watch list before, and I probably just got bumped up several
degrees.
steps.
You now have 2 FBI agents.
Hey, it's great. You know, it's like, hey boys, how you doing? Hi, how are things? How are
Derek,
the wife and
Eddie,
kids?
how's it going?
Yeah.
I will not remove that piece of tape from my camera.
and they don't know each other. It's the best part. That one doesn't know, the left hand doesn't know about the right hand. So they
Yeah.
both just be,
Yeah, that's just Second Inquisition right there.
Yeah.
It is. They could be working in the same office next to each other on the same project, and they have no idea.
Do you understand how much I would love it if a vampire fucked up so hard that they got the Second Inquisition hammer dropped down on them? They get it dropped so hard it's 2 other teams and they fuck each other up.
Oh yeah, you could absolutely run that as a plot if you want. All right, so before we get too in the weeds, so we have the Coalition with the Five Torches and the Second Players.
Yeah.
The bottom rung of this whole thing is called farm teams.
Is it like a street team, but for
Basically-
Second Inquisition?
Yeah, basically, these are smaller, more localized groups that are not, quote unquote, officially involved with the Coalition, but oftentimes will get information or backing or will be like spec'd out to be recruited. This can range from law enforcement to crime lords to your local conspiracy theory nutbags to just lone vampire hunters.
Just people running
Somebody
around with a
who has the power of God and anime on their side.
Yeah, oh, they killed my sister. Vengeance. Like somebody who's just doing a Batman
Right.
could be part of this. It all could just,
doing the world's shittiest trench coat blade.
Yeah, or, it could be, your local police department in the United States that's gotten free military gear because of budgeting. And they're like, well, we have these tanks.
It'd
Might
be a
as well use
shame
them.
if we didn't use them.
Yeah.
You could also, in your game, be like, hey, we gave you those tanks for a reason. Vampires.
Yeah. Hey, you need to understand you're part of this special op, and we need you to be a good big boy and go take out the people in this place. And it turns out it's just a whole conspiracy to gentrify a neighborhood. It is there is a whole subplot in the book, and I love it, but it's so fucking evil of people in the Second Inquisition weaponizing gentrification as a way to remove vampires from a population. Because, it's harder to hunt humans when there's not people just chilling out in the streets.
Yeah.
And, if a neighborhood is getting gentrified, you have more people, like, watching out for things. So you get neighborhood watches. People start installing, like, Amazon Ring cameras.
Yeah.
People start caring about property values. So, vampires can't fuck around as much.
It even talks about in the book where if a hunter is specifically trying to go after one guy they know's in an area, and so they start paying to have street lights and stoplights put in the area, just so, like, they have less places to hide.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm just
Interesting.
like... And also, the damage it does to local communities.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm fine. We're fine.
Again, who is the real monster here?
Yeah, that's
The hosts.
no.
That's rude.
The vampires.
I'm friendly.
I found a quote that I thought was really cool, and who wants to read it?
I'll take this
It's
one.
a longer one, but it's good.
See? Told you. That's a real good vocal warm-up right there.
Bo, ho, ho, ho. You gotta warm up properly. Like a certain killer cyborg from the future, the Coalition can't be reasoned with. It can't be bargained with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear, and it absolutely will not stop, ever. Individual inquisitors or soldiers or cops or nuns can be reasoned with and bargained with. And most feel fear, some feel pity, and even a few feel remorse. All those deviations in human moments make excellent stories, ripples in the flood, but the narrative relentless washes over those stories, replacing every flawed or broken foe with 2 more, 10 more, out for revenge or salvation. The Inquisition as a whole, both as a conspiracy and a movement that inflames that conspiracy, will not stop until every kindred burns.
And just like the Terminator, folks, just use unorthodox methods to take care of them.
Depending on how that goes for your story. So, yeah, that is the Second Inquisition in a very rough nutshell. What does this mean for your game and your table, though?
Be afraid. Be careful.
Yeah.
I will say this is probably the closest that V5 has to a monster manual.
Yeah.
'Cause-
This is fucking spicy shit.
Like, previously you could always make vampires using the rules. There's some template stuff in the back of the core book for, like, other supernaturals and loose vampire hunters. This is a giant book full of references of things for your ST to kill you with.
The thing is, the book is not even that big, but it is fucking dense. Like, I went through an entire pack of tabs just noting shit that I'm going to have to use for reference for later, just for me being an ST, let alone show notes. And I'm just
Great.
like...
I'm so happy to hear that.
As your player, I love this.
I love this. Yes. I'd rather have it noted and be aware of it to use. It doesn't mean I'm going to use it, because that's the next point in this is how this is used really depends on the kind of story or chronicle that you and your table want to run. Because, the way the Second Inquisition is set up, you can't really remove it from your game, but you can definitely have, like, threat levels, and you can calibrate that to the kind of story that you and your friends want to tell. So, good news there. The rules for this are actually in the core book. It's been there the whole fucking time, guys. It's been here. Waiting,
Sneaky.
watching,
The
recording.
Second Inquisition is the friends we made along the way.
Kinda. If you go to page 364, there's a nice little segment specifically about the Second Inquisition and how to use it in your game. It lists several different options for I've called them threat levels. I'm just going to talk about 3 that are really kind of the easiest to wrap your brains around quickly, which is 1, there's a passive threat. The SI is part of the background. It is a looming threat, and the players can't avoid it as long as they play smart. So it's there. It doesn't really have to be a major issue in your game unless, players want to fuck around and find out.
Right.
Which, that's a perfectly valid way to go. There is active threat, which is the Second Inquisition is actively hunting kindred. How do your players respond to this? So the Second Inquisition is doing something in the city or the town that you're in. They don't necessarily have to be going after your players directly, but it is an active plot thing happening.
Right.
So, and then there's front and center. The SI is the main plot of your campaign. Do your players infiltrate, sabotage, convert, etc.? How do they seek out local task force and twist them into their favor?
That one I feel like is a big roll of the dice. Like every session is a larger roll of the dice than a normal session would be.
Yeah, because that one you can run the gambit from basically reverse from dusk till dawn if you wanted, or you can go full like spy versus spy, Game of Thrones levels of politics and drama.
Yeah, chess moves and whatnot.
Yeah.
Also, for the record, I fucked up. I should have said the Second Inquisition was the enemies we made along the way.
Yes.
Fuck that.
Yeah, but I was gonna say with this one too, it talks about in the history section how the Detroit team was flipped on by a kindred who they were working with. You could have your players be vamps who've been recruited forcefully or not into their task force to root out other vampires. And do they want to flip? Do they want to try and specifically go for other vamp that they have had issues themselves with? There's a lot of fun that could be had just with that.
Yeah, it's great. It gives lots, and it kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier, is that the Second Inquisition book is more of a book geared towards storytellers, because most of the book is taken up by information on organization charts. It's like, okay, if this type of group is in this setting, here is a rough of how they're going to operate, and it gives you information as a storyteller of like how to set up the roles to run things in the background, difficulties for like, oh yeah, if your players do X amount of fuck arounds, here's their difficulty number to find out. That kind of shit. They pre-write a bunch of NPCs being like, oh, hey, if the Second Inquisition is new to the area, this is how they're going to infiltrate. This is how they're going to behave. Here's things to look for.
Is it different per organization, or is it just
It's broken down by
regional?
No, it's broken down by tactic. So there is the social NPCs. There's the ones that are more mentally based. So that's going to be like your hackers and information brokers. There's the physical ones, which is the, kick the door in, SWAT team raid kind of guys. And then there's the occult. So that's where you're going to get the mortal sorcerers. That's where you're going to get the clergymen, those kinds of people. And the social is a little bit more like blackmail-y and, hey, this cute girl you were talking at with the bar for weeks actually is an agent for the Second Inquisition, and she's been mining you for information this whole time.
Warning, that is almost the plot of every single fucking mage fluff book back in the day. It is almost always a mage is learning to be a mage, and a cute girl is flirting with her. By the way, that's a technocrat agent.
Do you realize how many times I have weaponized that in games as a player? Every time. If I can, I will. Because I'm just like, well, I'm used to people not respecting me at the table because, girl. I'm like, all right, I'm going to judo this. Fuck you.
Why do you think Max doesn't have a romance life?
And Max is?
Max is the eco-terrorist in one of our stream games.
So, yeah, you are armed with the book and the info and the knowledge. Adding the Second Inquisition, the book, the way it is written, I love the fact that a lot of the information from this does parallel real-world information, because that way storytellers and players can use their actual world knowledge to help build and create a story, but then that also causes problems. Because you are running games and telling stories that parallel actual things that are happening in the world. So we're going to talk about that for just a little bit.
Little bit.
Yeah. Vampire the Masquerade is a mature-themed game that delves into personal horror. These themes and stories can delve into dark and heavy topics, including addiction, body horror, mental illness, sexual trauma, so on and so forth. By adding the Second Inquisition as a more serious plot element in your game, you're going to be adding to this pile of horror interpersonal, societal, systemic, and political themings into your game really heavily. And in light of a lot of recent world events, I think for that reason I'm trying to like make a point of like, hey, these are the things that might come up. Which includes things like religious trauma. Because, there are certain people that are going to be cool with having stories that are going to talk about like, what is the nature of the human soul and salvation and damnation, and what does that all really mean in the context of faith. And then there's also, religious extremism. Because, you're probably going to have hunters that are going to be like, vampires exist. My faith has been confirmed. I am a warrior of Christ. Or, Allah or whoever they're affiliated with.
Clearly vampires, gotta have a god.
Mm-hmm.
Or vampires. This is one of the signs of the end times as spoken about in Revelations.
Mm-hmm.
The end times are here, and it doesn't matter if I burn buildings down, because I am God's holy warrior.
I am God's holy warrior, and I'm just sending them to a safer place. I'm doing the most good. I'm sparing them the apocalypse.
Yeah, which I think is an interesting story to be told, and some folks are cool with that. Some folks are not going to be having the spoons for that. Super valid. We're also getting into techno horror, which is shit that I fucking love, but also like because we got privacy issues. Like there's things like in the United States we have Project Prism and all the NSA stuff, and there's also the metadata farming that's been happening by private corporations. So you could have a plot in your game where part of the Second Inquisition might be a private social media company that's actually mining all of this data about kindreds and selling it to the government for profit.
Facebook.
I like the idea of, instead of doing all that for techno horror, we just watch Return of the Living Dead, like 3, Rave from the Grave.
I love that movie.
If we could just do that
It's
instead,
so
that'd be cool.
good.
That's Return of the Living Dead 5.
Is it 5?
Yep.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
there's fucking
3 is the Romeo and Juliet one.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah,
I got that backwards. I'm
Okay.
so sorry.
Yeah, Rave from the Grave is 5.
Yeah, 3 is an underrated classic.
Yeah,
Just that whole
3's good.
That whole series.
3's
Fucking
It's
gold.
a lot of fun.
3 is good. By the way, if you get horny into that, either you're hard into romance or you're really into sadism and masochism.
Why not both?
Yeah,
Yeah,
why
it could be
can't-
both. It could be
Those aren't mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
I'm
And
just
also,
saying it's triggering one of them.
oh, that's true. And continuing on in techno hoarder, there's also technophobia, transhumanism, and the supernatural is a theme that's going to come up where, you're going to have vampires that are older and they're not as connected in with the internet and technology, and they're going to view the world and experience things different than people in the Second Inquisition and other mortals around them. And for some people, that's a lot to process. They're also very scared of like, what if they're putting chips in fucking everybody? Because you might get some crazy Second Inquisition like farm team that thinks vampires are actually like New World Order brain chip psychos that are stealing blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Iteration X. New World Order doesn't shove chips into people.
They don't know.
I know.
All right.
I'm a New World Order agent. I'm just making sure.
No, I was gonna say that that could get that one specifically. I think you have to be careful with of all the ones that is listed, even though it's not really an upset point for me. When you start delving into like real world conspiracy and mixing it in with your vampire game, it's like like QAnon and all this could really be like upsetting. So just be careful, because
During your consent episode, you need to have a hard, this is a game. We are going to be talking about real world subjects. It's still just a game, folks.
Yeah, and it also gets into another aspect of like what I consider to be part of techno horror, which is disinformation and conspiracy culture.
Oh, God.
Which is, affected us all in very real ways, especially over the last few years. I'm tired. I'm so tired. But yeah, being able to use disinformation campaigns is something that is touched on in the book as something the Second Inquisition will use. And it's something that could come up in your game. I've played a character that was basically trying to harness social media to counteract Second Inquisition people that are like, oh my god, vampires exist and da-da-da. And they're just like using bots to mass post things on Reddit and all sorts of places to tweak stories into going into other directions.
yeah, and like the nature of belief and in and of itself is such a like scary thing to play with. I mean, it's a meme, but it is also kind of terrifying. Just the phrase, "You are not immune to propaganda."
Mm-hmm.
2 things. I also have played a character that is doing similar things. And there's also a lore sheet. I believe it's Ambromorphous that does bring up a Nosferatu that's not like, okay, yeah, that is not fully like Shrek, but does bring up the point like, hey, Camarilla, we have to keep using the internet because if we don't, they're gonna find us. Like like your character said, like it has similar motivations for the no, you need some form of presence. Like if you don't like pay attention to the internet, do stuff with the internet, you're gonna get fucked.
Next major theme in the Second Inquisition book is state violence.
Yeah.
You could have just said state.
State violence. Look, insert System of a Down right here.
Just Surge doing everything.
Yeah. Oh, God. So, yeah, themings of things that will come up that you should probably talk about with your players is the police, involving police brutality and militarization.
Yeah, all of these things, just as a reminder, talk to your players first.
Yes, there's also issues with government and intelligence agencies. A lot of the way that the Second Inquisition agents are going to work is very akin to real-world government conspiracies, including MKUltra, COINTELPRO, and the war on drugs. I think these are interesting. They're things that should be discussed, and if you want to have morality plays about this at your table, great. Some folks are probably not well-educated or don't want to fucking deal with it because it personally affected their lives. So, check in on that.
Also, even if it didn't personally affect their lives, like
Still
some of
check
that
in.
stuff is really intense. Like
Yeah.
the stuff they did with MKUltra by itself, like I don't necessarily know if I really want to deal with that most days.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So, how much
I have to be in the mood for it.
Yeah, so how much of an active part of your story this will be in your game? You can calibrate depending on like the story and tone you guys want to strike, but it's kind of just gonna be there. Handle that with care to the best you can.
Yeah.
There's also war, the military, and contractors with big air quotes. Mercenaries.
Contractors.
Yeah. This will tie into things like literally the war on terror, conflicts that we've had internationally, like in Iraq and Afghanistan. Paramilitary agencies like Blackwater. And we'll also, touch into current issues like the crisis happening in Ukraine, which for some people is a lot.
It's a lot.
I have some friends that are like military vets, and I'm like, yeah, they probably don't want to fucking deal with this at their goddamn table. Some of them might, and they might be super into it, and that's fine.
Work through your trauma.
I don't think games should be used as therapy, but if people are able to take their real world knowledge and turn it into something that's like a fun for everybody, cool.
I feel it's a decent therapy tool. It shouldn't be your soul.
No, absolutely not. Do not, please. That's a me thing. Like, I'm super like, if you're having those kind of issues, please go to a therapist.
Yeah, I was gonna say, unless your ST is a therapist and you are doing a D&D session as a form of group therapy, don't put the other players at the table through your problems.
Yeah, do not do this without discussing it to anybody. Always talk to your group.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if there's like small emotional catharsis in discussing X, Y, and Z, like, that's fine. I think that should be fine, but again, should also be discussed.
Yeah.
Also, the rising tides of fascism is a theming that can come up within a lot of these plots, which is a lot and is very stressful. And I think not acknowledging it is not responsible. How much you want to deal with that at your table is something you all should calibrate and work on together as a group.
As we said, who's the villain here? You could very easily run a game that's just like, all right, who's less fascist? The Second Inquisition or the Camarilla?
Right. Or, a certain sect of the anarchs might just go super hard in the paint because they're like, but for freedom, we have to do authoritarian control and da-da-da-da-da and do like weird purity tests on things. And you're just like, this got a little,
Uncomfortable.
I noted you misquoted this old communist book. Are you really?
Yeah, we're just like, we're doing purges now. And I'm like, oh, God. So, things that are there, they exist. Be aware of it. Move responsibly. That's something that should... The book kind of concurs with my thoughts on this. This is a thing that may happen in your story that should probably denote as somebody being a bad guy is torture. There is a whole section in the Second Inquisition book on page 102 and 103 about torture specifically. I really appreciate this section because it does a really good job of explaining why this is used in stories and why certain agents might participate in a torture activity and why it is bad and ineffective and a war crime, and don't fucking do it.
Cool.
But if you're going to, and have this be part of your plot,
I'm sorry.
here's a way
Don't
to do it.
fucking do it.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna,
here are ways to do it that it's like what Hunter was saying, like this is denoting like who is actually the bad guy in this situation.
Yeah.
From the section on torture in the Second Inquisition book. Torture is a sensitive subject to approach in any context, especially in a game of operatic horrors and cinematic soldiers. Avoid presenting torture in a cartoonish or flippant manner. Torture violates people by explicit design. The U.S. Military Code of Justice, the Geneva Convention, and the laws and mores of every civilized country considers torture to be a crime against humanity. Yep. Still happens, though.
some serious shit.
Yeah.
And the other quote we got, same pages, same section. Player characters face moral and ethical choices while burdened with a monstrous nature. Those same choices can break or corrupt mortals, plunging them into depravity without the excuse of the beast. Second Inquisition torture signals players that evil also exists outside of their own afflictions.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. I really appreciated the nuance of the section, and also the fact that the section is super spicy and does not hold back on that. Oh yeah, we're going to directly reference governments that have done torture
Yeah.
specifically. And I'm just like, good job, book. Thank you for acknowledging this. It's like, yeah, this is a real world thing that happens. It's super fucked up, but it happens. The book recommends torture being off screen or as an implied threat most of the time. And I think that's probably the most responsible way to handle things most of the time. But, you know, I'm not one to impede a group where, like, if they want to get into the nitty gritty of like how fucked up this is and everybody is cool with it and you guys want to play it out responsibly and talk about it afterwards and handle things and not be flippant about it. I don't see why not, because you're consenting adults.
Right.
Maybe don't. If somebody's really gung-ho about doing this scene, maybe talk to them. Be like, hey, bro, you good? I'm a little concerned. Also, the book lists out a few techniques explicitly that mirror actual torture techniques used by governments, but they are twisted to fit for kindred.
Okay.
So, there's one, oh god, I'm trying
I guess waterboarding wouldn't work on someone who
No,
doesn't
it's called
breathe.
sunboarding.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, I'm not joking. Like, this is like, as a millennial who grew up during the Iraq War, and like I read all the files for Abu Ghraib that I could get my hands on, because I was like, this is what my government is doing in my name, and this is super fucked up, and I should know.
Yeah.
I was reading that, and I was just like, oh, fuck. You know, and I personally think it's irresponsible to run a game that covers and broaches these topics without acknowledging this and handling it, again, responsibly and with the weight it deserves. But also, if your game is just, we just want to be like slutty and powerful and rich and do politics and Elysium, I'm like, that's fine. You don't have to delve into this that deeply. But if you're going to get into the thick of it, we can. And you should. Responsibly, please. Please. And to reiterate, also fun note, I forgot about this. If you want to do quote unquote violent interrogation, there are rules for that in the core book on page 415.
Again, they're like, you really shouldn't do this, but if you're going to,
here's how to
do it.
Yep.
I would say no, this is just personal taste. But if you're gonna do like a Reservoir Dogs in your game, that you might be able to get away with something like that a little more tastefully, or like hey, tell us what you know. I'm gonna cut off a finger.
Yeah.
Okay, here, like kind of the kind of shit you'd see in a movie that you're like, ugh, but you're not like weeping over. Like that could be like, you could even do that and then have the threat of like more of these things happening, and kind of keep it cinematic and tasteful, but still like, oh fuck, like my character's missing a pinky finger now.
Well, and also, like, in the context of Reservoir Dogs, Mr. Blonde, who does that, when that scene happens, everybody's like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
No. Like, yeah, he's a cop and we're criminals and this guy's, like, not on our team, but you can't, like, set him on fire. What the fuck? So, yeah.
You have to have some rules of engagement.
We're professionals.
And
Yeah.
I think that's like, again, using Reservoir Dogs, those quick moments of that extreme violence really can punctuate, a scene. That doesn't mean you want to make a scene out of it, though.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, like touch on it and move on. Don't have a 15-minute scene about it. Have like 2 minutes, and then
Yeah, because then you're getting into like the Eli Roth hostile like torture porn era, and I'm just like, I understand why culturally that happened, especially in American cinema, considering all the things we were going through and things we were doing to other people like illegally, and that might have been a cultural way to process all of that shit. It's very sticky and messy and blah 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 blah.
I will say kudos to the book. They put the disclaimer and saying that, you know, torture is bad up front instead of doing the GTA 5 thing where they waited until halfway through the torture scene to make a commentary on it.
Oh yeah.
They were like, this is a bad thing. It's an option, but it's a bad thing, and we don't condone it. Instead of, you know, just half platitude halfway through going, this is bad.
Yeah, and the book also up front at the very beginning when they're like, this is what this book is for, also has a segment about like, hey, these themes, the ones I have just discussed, are really heavy, and make sure you talk to your players about it, and they reference the consent section of the core book. So we're also going to be like, hey, talk to your players about this shit beforehand. Talk about it at session 0. This is why we do consent sheets, and also why you follow through periodically and be like, hey, so the story's getting a little heavy. Are we still all good with this? Everybody good? And if someone seems not good, go ahead and take a 5-minute like snack break. It's fine. It's okay. You don't have to hurt your friends with story. It's not worth it. Like, I don't care how cool you fucking think your story is and how badass and edgy you're being. Like, it's not worth ruining a friendship over.
Agree.
Yeah. So don't do that. And
I was about to say check-ins are always good too. Just because on, you know, session 0 someone was feeling one way doesn't mean that their situation hasn't changed in the past few weeks or something like that. So,
or, you know, world events might have changed and now everybody's like,
that someone could just be having a one-off bad week, and they're like, next week we can do this as much as we want, but right now I need like a easy game.
Yeah. Can we focus on somebody else instead of my bullshit, please? Like, that's also valid. Super valid. You guys can do that.
Yeah.
You as a player can also tell your ST like, hey, I see where the plot's going. I'm not digging this right now. Can we turn this into a fade to black? Can we like turn this in a way where this isn't as going to be as intense as I feel like you're trying to steer this?
Right.
Yeah. Or it's like I was expecting Reservoir Dogs, and now we're getting into Zero Dark 30.
Oh.
And it's like, what?
Yeah.
The tone shifted a bit, and I'm a little concerned.
Same goes for STs. Like, we talk about players talking out and speaking out a lot, but also like if your players are starting to get into areas that you're feeling like, I don't really know if I want to deal with that, like,
Yeah, don't let the murder hobos take the wheels.
right, yeah,
No,
like
do
make
not.
sure
You
to
can-
make you stay comfortable too.
Yeah.
You can just be like, time out.
Yeah.
We're going to take a week break and then talk it over next session.
Yeah.
See if we're even continuing this.
World of Darkness and Vampire the Masquerade are story games that encourage people exploring like very morally complex subjects. And nobody's really a good guy. Nobody's really a bad guy. Like, not in that, you know, movie by like binary way. The white hat cowboy, black hat cowboy. So doing that does require a bit more effort on the ST to like do the research and make sure things are going in a way that is at least respectful of the material that you're covering. Actually do the research, please.
Yeah, I was actually going to say too, it's not really, they're not really out, so it's not a big deal yet, but I would say Vampire the Masquerade is probably directly the most morally gray of all of them, at least when it comes to real world events. Like, yeah, like Demon gets pretty fucking edgy after a while, and some of these other game lines get edgy in like a cartoonish, like horror kind of way, but I think vampires are tied so directly to humanity and the machinations and everyday lives of humans that like it will very quickly get to places where you might need to be like, hey, let's chat for a second.
Yeah, can we do a small cut? Sarah's, I guess, TLDR of the thing is, please don't make doing harm for the quote-unquote greater good seem cool, and don't make war crimes seem cool in your game by mistake. That's just, yeah, please don't do that.
The greater good.
Yeah, no, please don't do that. Like, if I was in a game and somebody started doing that kind of shit, I'd be like, I might tap from the game entirely. I'm just like, brah, no.
It really depends on the level, too, for me personally. I mean, again, this is just something that you're going to need to talk with the people around you. And if people start getting uncomfortable, be ready for you to maybe pull back on some of that from your character. And if that ruins your experience, you might just need to find another group or make a new character that will fit a little better. Because, like, Shit, very easy, like the second Batman movie, I think it was, where he fucking wiretaps all of the city to find Joker Man.
Yeah.
I could definitely see, without even really thinking about, just making a character who did that. And that's fine, but maybe someone else at your table not
It's
into
like,
that.
nah.
Is super against that shit because,
Yeah.
they might have had an experience of like, oh yeah, no, they themselves or somebody they know may have been wiretapped by the government and then got pulled into some sort of weird fucking court case or what the fuck ever, or, you might be involved in certain like political actions and groups, and then you're stressed about this in your real life and now coming to play game and you're just like, I don't want to fucking deal with this on my fun time as well. Ugh.
Or even simpler, they may have had an ex or a friend who's gone through their messages and used things they've said to other people against them out of context. And they might not want to play a game where the other characters are reading their messages too. That's even less messy, like simple reason why someone would be like, I'm not cool with playing that game right now.
Yeah, so, yeah. Second Inquisition, thoughts on the book and everything so far? Because this episode's kind of a baby's first Second Inquisition.
Aww.
Baby's first Second Inquisition. Hey guys, let's talk about war crimes.
I would say when I first started reading the book, I was a little confused / disappointed. It was not what I expected, but the more I read it, the more I started to like it. I was expecting a little more lore up front and a little bit of like setting you up for what you're going to read, like more traditional World of Darkness books have done in the past, where it really starts heavy in the paint with reference material. And there is story in that reference material, and it's the only book where, other than just for fun, I would encourage anyone interested in this book as a player, lore fan, or ST to read all the individual entries, almost like reading like the monster manual. Because at first I was kind of like skimming that, just being like, all right, let me get to the good stuff. And then I went back and started reading, and I was like, oh, that is the good stuff. It's just hidden with inside all the stat blocks. So this is really a book that you kind of have to take all or nothing from, unfortunately, or fortunately. I mean, it's a great wealth of knowledge, but you kind of just got to read it. Like, you got to read it. You can't just, like other books, like flip to a certain page and be like, I'm going to read about just this. It is all one big conglomeration of information that is referencing itself constantly. And if you try and read it out of order, I am afraid you might get a little lost. So that is my big takeaway from reading it myself. I know Sarah and I talked about this a little bit when I was reading through it the first time.
Yeah, if you're going into this and you're not used to dealing with like military or kind of any kind of governmental like organizational stuff, if like that's not something you do for funsies like I do because I'm a psycho, I think it's chapter 4 or 5 where they actually start explaining like lore wise, like it's past all the reference material, and there's one section that's like, okay, this is what the 5 torches are, here's how all the countries break down like I listed at the beginning. Maybe read that first if you're not used to it, so then that way you can go back and read all the sections about all the different agents, stat blocks and their tactics there, where you have a frame of reference to go, oh, okay, so here's the GRU agents, here's like SO13, here's Unit 8211. I can see how all these threads are connecting in with each other. So, yeah, I fucking love this book. This book was basically, I'm like, this is everything I wanted, and it's just a fucking rabbit's hole of plot and seeing how offhanded mentions of things that different agencies and agents have dealt with tie into meta plot from the previous books. And then if you go back and look at the previous books, you're looking at it going, oh, okay, I see how this now connects to this and how these people affected that. And you're just like, fuck. And
That's cool.
Some of it also ties back into stuff like just before V5 and getting into like Beckett's and further back. And you're just like, oh, fuck. Oh my God. This is a lot. It's, it kind of like takes me back to when I was in high school and was first learning about like the Gulf of Tonkin incident and shit. And you're just like, oh my God, what happened? What? And then it just peels into like layers of just action and reaction, just kind of like this tumbling cycle of history and how things interact with each other. And it's just like, this is really cool. I'm going to need another like 2 weeks to get through all this shit.
Yeah. James, I know you had a bunch of notes.
SAD's founder, Charles Horner. I love this. We'll get into more about the guy. It's very interesting how this guy like pieced together in like the early 1900s that vampires existed. In the 1970s, after he'd confirmed vampires existed, this motherfucker was like, I'm pretty sure there are other supernatural things about. I'm pretty sure there are werewolves. Immediately after he went to investigate them, he had a hunting accident. Immediately. Just, yeah, they're like, I'm gonna fuck around with vampires forever. And the werewolf were like, we're gonna kill you immediately. Just right off the bat. Just no stop. That dude was dead. Like, he had been fucking with vampires
For what, like 20, 30 years at that point?
over that 40
Oh,
years.
fuck.
There'd been 40 years of him fucking around trying to figure that shit out. And the moment he was like, I'm gonna fuck around with Guru. That probably, they did not try to subtlety that or nothing. He was just like, I'm gonna go fuck around with this Native American like protest. And they're like, kill him.
Dead.
Dead. No.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's actually a good tie-in because
Yeah, the American Indian movement.
I have some notes for an upcoming episode. I know some of our listeners in the Discord were asking about it. So I'm doing basically a tourist's guide to the supernaturals in the world of darkness. So everything that's not a vampire.
Yeah.
We're going to do like a quick dive through. But one thing I did notice about this book, and that's kind of always been a thing, is like, kind of, I mentioned earlier, vampires are so directly tied to humans, more so than a lot of the other books, that a lot of these organizations don't give a shit about other supernaturals, or they know about them, and they're like, we'll deal with that later, at most. Like, it mentions the Arcanum. They were mostly a mage thing, but even them, in context of this book, they're basically just getting magic items to use against vampires. Like,
Well, that's also because in the Project Twilight book, and it talks about it, is like, it's because vampires fuck with humans way more than the other.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
They're a way bigger problem.
yeah. So I'm trying to put together some notes from V5 about other stuff, but I've got that in the works. But before we do that, Skipper, do you have any Second Inquisition thoughts?
Other than they're terrifying,
Yeah.
I think we've covered most of them.
No.
They're kind of terrifying.
Yeah. Just imagine. Here's the thing that was. Just imagine me just reading through this book and tabbing and making notes to my gay little stickers while listening to like Bo Burnham's Inside on loop. That's kind of what my past week has been, and I'm just
Good.
like, oh god.
Do you think that if you pictured Brennan Lee Mulligan as an
Oh
SI agent,
no!
it would help?
Here's the thing. I haven't had time to finish the 5th season of LA by Night, but spoilers. I mean, there have been trailers with this, so I don't feel bad talking about it. The Second Inquisition's a big plot point in the 5th season, and I'm so excited. They gave one of the major Second Inquisition agents to the psychopath that is Brennan Lee Mulligan. I'm just like, whoo! I was like, he's got the right kind of energy for this, and I'm like, okay, good. I just need to sit down and binge it. I don't know when the fuck I'm going to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But with this information now in the arsenal, I'm very curious how this is going to affect the New York game that Jason Carl's going to be putting out for us soon. So I'm just like, New York's had a lot of fuckery. They've had a lot of fuckery in just our reality, let alone the vampire world. Oh no, what does this mean?
Yeah.
Didn't we already get into that potentially New York could be ruled by Harstadt 3? No, that was DC.
That was DC.
Yeah, it was
DC is Hardshot 3. I was like, no, I know there's like potentially some Zemeetzi fuckery underneath New York City. As well as
the Cronenberg monster.
yeah, underneath the World Trade Center. Yeah.
Again, we've
Lot.
Yeah.
Skipper has had a thing. I have misspoke in the previous episode. It's not potentially a virus. It's potentially a tumor.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there's also, well, because like New York has all the long problematic history of, the NYPD and also, spying on American citizens who happen to be Muslim and all sorts of other shit.
Wait.
So I'm just like, where's this gonna go, guys?
Wait, I just had a eureka moment.
Oh God.
If the Zemeetzi slime is under the city being a tumor, you can feasibly do the plot of the movie Chud in V5. There's precedent.
You could do Chud.
You could do
You
Chud.
could do Chud.
Chud's a great movie. You
It
should
is
go
a good
watch
movie.
Chud.
I think I got Chud
Poor
too, Bud the
John.
Chud.
Hell yeah.
Poor not John Candy. Oh God, the guy from Roseanne.
John Goodman?
Yeah, John Goodman. Yeah, poor John Goodman. He's in the movie for like 2 seconds and just gets fucking murdered by chuds out of nowhere. He is not being a bad cop or anything. He's just sitting around in a diner and then, surprise,
Chuds.
yeah, chuds.
Yeah, so
He didn't even do anything wrong.
Second Inquisition, fucking terrifying in plot as well as just existentially, just like, oh god.
I keep thinking of like situations that have happened around our lives that could have totally been things like this.
Yeah.
Specifically, government agencies like reaching out to people who aren't necessarily in their right mind in the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And just being like, you're in a bad spot and you're like, you wish you could do something about it. Well, we have this stuff
That you could use. We're going to call it freedom paste.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, we have surface-to-air missile launchers.
No. We have there's a whole thing. But
Yeah, no, I'm just...
No, it's just like it's an interesting and kind of terrifying idea. You know, some Redditors like, I'm angry. I feel like there might be vampires, and then suddenly there's like, you know,
your DMs.
$30,000 in his bank account.
yeah, and even if you want to get worse into that, there's people that are just like, oh yeah, there's these elite 1% guys that are like running the world and everything, and then, you know, in the context of Vampire the Masquerade, it's literally true, but they're also blood-sucking freaks. And, you know, there is a technical moral impetus to like remove them in the correct context, but also it's like these are sentient beings that are afflicted by essentially a mental illness given to them by God, maybe? I don't know. So like, do you have the right to execute them?
Well, we got to remember, there's no way that Jeffrey Bezos is a vampire, because if he was, a Zamitzi would have unfucked his eye.
Go on.
Oh, I was gonna say,
That's why I was dying laughing.
No,
I
that's
thought
great.
about that, and I'm like, Jeffrey Bezos can't be a vampire. Zamitzi would have unfucked his eyeball by now.
I was gonna say that is actually one of the biggest contentions within the original Inquisition book, which is largely just about the Society of Leopold that was mentioned earlier. But there was a movement in that group who tried to become reformationists, who essentially were like, well, we don't have to kill them on sight. What if we can reform them and help them find God and then take them to their final death, or use them as a tool against other supernaturals now that they've found like the word of God? I'm not going to go into details on that because that is like part of the plot line through the original book, but it's really interesting, I think.
I've got to ask, because can't leave off on that, because I know somebody listening to this will be thinking the same thing. What would those people think about vampires that are already practicing Golconda? Would they just be like, oh, they've already got it?
Well, that's the problem with Golconda, is that we could do a whole episode on it, and it's very vague. And if it ties into Dark Ages, which I will admit is like a blind spot for me, and there's a book I really need to read, but I don't think it's available on print on demand, and it's for hundreds of dollars, but I believe it's The Path of Light, which is the book that has a lot of the like Christian vampire lore in it. I know it's got the stats for Jesus in there, but
Jeebus.
If you stat it, we will kill it. I'm gonna fight the Lord.
I'm gonna kill God.
but also
wait, God's son.
but also
He's also God.
Yeah.
But also, if you're running a game, keep this in mind. The Sabbat has recently broken, and all that is left is essentially the Black Hand, the crazies of the crazies. Some of these people are showing up in the Camarilla. The Second Inquisition is a largely Catholic organization. Who else used the Catholics as a cover-up for their organization for over a decade?
And it's
these
weird
games?
that these random religious people are showing up in vampire areas.
Yeah, and you also, I'm trying to figure out the best way to parse this. We're Americans. We have the fun context of also having to deal with like the evangelicals and all sorts of these really extreme Christian branches here in the United States. And you mean to tell me some of these guys that are like, you know, like from the Jesus Camp documentary, if they were like given a budget and were told like, oh yeah, there are these monsters that like eat people and are demons, and they wouldn't just fucking like absolutely be like, woo, roll tide. Like, you know what I mean?
Woo! We knew it! The liberals are eating babies!
Yeah, like, you know.
Proof!
Yeah, so again, depending on how you want to flavor your campaign and what stuff you're interested in doing, that could be part of it. And there's also a section in the Second Inquisition, the new book, about there are different organizational branches that are looking into basically trying to find a cure for vampirism, kind of like in the plot of X-Men 3. But they need a lot of material to run their experiments on, and they're just grinding through Thin Bloods to do it, and it's just like, oh no.
Man, the Thin Bloods got it. They
So
got it the
bad.
worst, dude.
I know.
Poor
It's
guys.
babies. No. Yeah. So it's like if you want to get into like Mangala and like the syphilis experiments levels of just inhumanity fucked on a governmental level, you can definitely do that. Make sure everybody's cool with this before you do this as a plot in your story, because it's super fucked up.
Yeah.
It's super fucked up.
They did a really great job at opening it up to just the whole gambit of the idea. You know, anywhere from like, you know, your local high schoolers who, I think you mentioned it in a very previous episode, like your local high schoolers who are like, oh my gosh, my girlfriend broke up with me for this fucking vampire over here. Let's go beat him up.
Yeah.
And they show up with bats and just, you know, beat a vampire to death. It goes from that to, Mangla levels of government experimentation and things like that. And everything in between.
Yeah, it's like, oh, even worse. Like, what if there's like parts of the governments that are like, what if we make a super soldier serum out of vampire stuff and then weaponize it?
They just start feeding
And
all of their soldiers ash.
Yeah, and they start, or even worse, like a pharmaceutical company gets a hold of their shit and they start like privatizing
Vampire
Vitae,
powers.
Yeah.
basically. Because it's already legal to like basically copyright sequences of DNA. So like, how fucked do you want your plot to be, guys?
And like the book's not out, the whole game line's not out, so I'm not going to go into spoilers or anything. But that basically happened in Old World Werewolf if you read the Pentex books.
Pentex. Oh, it's the Betamites.
Yep.
Fuck Pentex. No!
Yeah, everybody here bitches about the technocracy, and I'm just over here like, Pentex does worse.
I mean, fuck the technocracy, but also fuck
Hey,
Pentex. I said what I said.
we're just trying to solidify
I said
and make
what
a
I
safe
said.
world.
I said what I said, but at what cost?
Yeah, but at least we're trying to make
How
something
much could a
good.
banana cost? $20?
Hey, we're trying to talk to the syndicate.
All
about
right, listen
fixing
here.
that.
Look, if you want to be an acolyte of Abed, that's fine. That's on you. Sorry, we finished Moon Knight this week too, and I fucking loved it.
You mean Ahmet.
That's why I said Ahmed.
You said Abet.
No, regardless.
I'll say, before we wrap up, anything else? I had one final thing to say.
Oh, go for it, my dude.
So, this is going to be maybe our longest episode to date.
Sorry.
And there's so much more we could talk about. If there's anything from this that we've mentioned, or if you've read the book and want clarification on anything, feel free to message us on Twitter or hop in our Discord, because we definitely want to do a follow-up episode of this soon, just because I feel like this is maybe the most useful book, in my opinion, for an ST that's come out, like, other than the straight adventures that really, like, give you the tools to run a game. Like, straight up, this is a book of tools.
They gave us a big old toolbox. Some of it's bloody.
Because, I mean, like I said, we mentioned it, but, like, we could talk about the Inquisition and St. Leopold. We could talk about the Arcanum and the Magic Relic Hunters. We could talk about a whole episode about the relics from here. We could talk about, there's a whole section on just building task force to take down your players' coteries. And we could do a whole episode where we help you guys build one of those.
Yeah, there's a whole section about Project Heartbeat where there's just a whole section of the first light that is using algorithms and metadata to collect and build profiles about kindred and have those on file. Yay. It's really neat. It's really cool. I think talk about these things is really interesting and exciting, and also, you know, fun things to hurt your players with. Make sure they're cool with it.
And for, like, your Old World listeners, I mean, this book kind of takes every book that came out in the original year of the Hunter and combines it into one book. The only one I heard absolutely no mention of was stuff from the Autumn People, which like doesn't surprise me. They're just like really, really ultra boring humans and like one psychologist. So not surprised that didn't pop up. But
Yeah, this book's yet to go on to the full SCP shit.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you could honestly pull SCP shit and then just run it through the lens of the Second Inquisition and like.
Well, no.
Use
I'm
that for
saying
plot.
it doesn't have in text that
Oh.
it hasn't gone that much. You can
yeah.
do it, but I'm like, it hasn't had that, like, this is how we secure, contain, and protect these weird ass things that aren't vampires.
Yeah, there are mentions of different branches that specialize in renditions and containment and study of vampires or the blank bodies. Roll credits, anyways.
Immediately start playing Paralyze music.
Yes. But yeah, it's really cool and good and neat and also terrifying and exciting. Hooray.
Huzzah!
Huzzah. Special notes. Everybody that helped with the Nago.
Yes.
you.
Thank you so much.
you.
I think Skipper could still use some help if anybody's got the ability to give. He's getting close. I don't think he's fully there. Could still use some, FYI, folks.
Yeah. Nago's doing all right. We won't talk about money. Nago's doing great. So thank you, everybody who helped out with that, and thank you for everybody who reached out to support. It means a lot, guys.
So we were talking about this, and because you guys have supported us to the point where we were able to upgrade our equipment and the space that we record in, and not only that, but a lot of people gave extra out of pocket to support Skipper and Nago, and all the bullshit that's happening in the world right now, we have decided that we're going to take last month's and this month's Patreon money, and we are going to roll that into a local abortion fund.
Because privacy and autonomy rights are important.
Yes.
Yes. As somebody who unfortunately has a uterus. Dark times. They are brewing.
Yeah.
It's spooky.
I'm definitely glad that I am mostly mechanical.
Do not rinse out your eyes with tear gas with milk.
Don't.
Don't.
It's not good.
Don't fucking do that.
I hear baking soda and water
Yes.
is the best choice
3
there.
teaspoons baking soda, 8 ounces of water.
Boom.
Welcome.
Guys,
Shake really well.
Shake the powder, because tear gas is powder, off your shit. Also, keep samples in case you have reactions.
and guys, just think about getting a vasectomy. I did it, and it is...
Yeah.
Like, no,
Your
legit.
recovery was really quick.
Yeah, I was out of work for like 2 days. They gave me a bunch of cool pills. I felt like a rapper for a couple days. I got free ice cream, and I just watched movies on a projector in bed. It was sick, and now no more worries.
No more problems.
I'm just envisioning Hunter rolling around, inclined with a grill, giant glasses, just auto-tune. Hey, yeah.
I think you have a pimp cup.
I
Still have that?
I have some chains, but I just wear those normally.
Yeah, you just wear that shit.
I was honestly this entire time really trying to keep the vision of you just feeling like a Hershey's wrapper. Just crinkly on your bed.
Just like, I'm nice and toasty.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, who knows what's going to happen if you have the ability to do so. I would do it now while it's still covered by insurance and
Shit's
available.
fucked.
Yeah.
Please be safe.
Ladies,
Take care of each
if
other.
the worst thing happens, stop fucking men. Just stop fucking them.
It's your prerogative. It's your body. It is literally your choice.
Peg them if they need to be penetrated.
Hail Satan.
But yeah, so like I said, we're going to be donating our Patreon money for last month and this upcoming cycle.
Hell yeah.
If you'd like to donate to that, go ahead and join on Patreon. You're also very much encouraged to find a local fund or legal fund around you to donate to.
Probably going to be a big thing soon.
Yeah, this weekend might get a little spicy. I don't know. We're recording Saturday morning, and this will come out Monday, so the world may be a different place again.
Yeah, when this episode airs. And if it isn't, good. If it is, we're sorry.
Or good.
Or good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck these dorks.
Fuck these dorks.
Maybe a governing body of 9
unelected people
should be monitored 24/7 instead of having privacy. maybe all of their documents should be public at all times.
I wonder what Colbert's got in that envelope. I'm really wondering.
Oh, you mean
Not Colbert.
Oliver.
John Oliver. I'm sorry. Yeah, so that's where we're at. Please stay safe. Make good choices.
Look out for each other.
Look out for each other. Consent is good. Thank you for helping Puppo. The Puppo's doing great.
His hardest struggle right now is being chill. He won't chill the fuck out.
So
He's
back to normal.
Stoked, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
That little Elizabethan collar, he still hasn't figured it out. So doorways are difficult. And it's kind of hilarious sometimes.
Oh, the cone of shame.
how many times has he bapped into the doors?
Every time.
Every time.
Every single time. He catches it and he'll pause and then he'll look at me. Every time I see him, he looks at me like, God damn it. And
Freedom,
he just
father.
pushes his head over, pulls it across the door, and then comes in. I'm like, sorry, buddy, just one more week. I gave him a t-shirt. I bought a t-shirt at Target
Cute.
for him. I cut it up so it would fit him because he can't, he has an incision that starts at his rib cage and goes to his crotch.
Yeah.
And the organization, actually, there was an organization that helped us out called Indie Cares. They're really awesome. They helped us out as well. They also paid to get him neutered.
Hell yeah.
Hey.
But a t-shirt won't cover that incision. So I gave him the t-shirt thinking, you won't have to wear the cone with the t-shirt. But then he was like, oh, but my nuts.
But
And I was like, oh,
I
shit.
got
All
a dingle, and you're like, no.
But the
Yeah.
testicles.
So now he has to wear the cone.
And just a little shirt.
Yeah, and it's pretty cute, honestly.
Aw.
I'll try to get a picture. but-
Hell yeah.
Thanks, Paralyze.
Thanks, Paralyze Music. If you want to see a picture of the cute boy doggo in the shirt, we have a Twitter. We're probably going to post on Twitter.
Yes.
Yeah, we need that for IGN.
Blank_bodies. We are also on the Instagram at blankbodiespod. If you're interested in participating, we have an interview series. We got some fun interviews lined up. We have done some fun ones in the past.
Yeah, and they're all over the place. We've had people who've worked on these books, people who make their own completely unrelated games, streamers.
Like
People who do
musicians.
arts.
Yeah. If you do cosplay, art, music, stream, anything that is horror or vampire related.
If you're a lick, I'll use a different word this time.
Hey, change it up. If you
they're
are
not.
a fellow blank body.
More admission.
I ain't admitted shit.
Yeah, we are the Blank Bodies because we're a podcast.
Yeah.
And if they are a fellow blank body out there, a fan of the show, then they should reach out to us.
At
This is the go sign.
blank bodies
black
at
bag 'em
Gmail.
now.
At Gmail. Blank bodies at Gmail.
Yeah, hit me up. I usually read those. I try and respond same day. If it's through the work week, I'm real quick on that. So
Yeah. So we've done our bit.
Yeah. Did we mention Discord? Get on Discord.
We have a Discord. It's cool. We hang out, share memes as cute pets.
Yeah.
We're usually there to contact like all times.
Yeah.
Sharing game stuff. We'll talk. We will happily talk with you about your game stuff and workshop shit.
yeah, we've helped a couple people flesh out the stories they're running. There are people running games in there. I think we have like 2 or 3 vampire games going now. We have Deadlands game coming up.
Oh yeah, I think that one's about to wrap though. I
Yeah,
think we're-
but I'm just saying, if you want to run something and that you can't convince your friends to play, pop in the looking for game server to be like, hey, I bought this book. Who wants to play this? I'm sure
Let's go.
someone will say yes.
Or if you're looking to play something, most of these guys are pretty chill. Most everyone's pretty chill and usually like, hey, I need X amount of players. This is when it's going.
Are you a nerd? Are you goth?
If you're available and chill, we'll do it.
Yes. Also, if you are doing your own projects and you want to do some community promo, we also have a channel for that.
Yep.
Because we need to support each other. All right. Goodbye. Fuck the government.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Goodbye now.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.